And what I don't care about various, leadership, whatever, is that there seems to be a certain level of pride in having the corner office and having the label. And I always say, and I want your comment on this. I would say there is no such thing as good leadership. It's good followership. And I base that on Christian principles. Talk about that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can say that I'm a leader, but the question would be talk to the people that you're leading and ask them if you're a leader or not, because that's really the true test is going to be, will they follow? If they and there's that idea of position power and personal power. And position power is I'll do it because he or she is telling me I have to, and I want to keep my job. Personal power is like I'm doing it because I want to please my boss. Like my boss asked me to do it, and I'm going to do it because of that. That's my main reason for doing it. And that to me, it's that personal power that really separates the best leaders from the others. Is most of us are pretty obedient people. We'll do what the boss tells us to do as long as it's not immoral or impractical. But boy, doing it because you want your boss to be successful, because you think your boss wants you to be successful. That's, like you said, Jeff, that's followership. That's that idea that we're in this together. It's not, you're telling me what to do, but we're working together to try to accomplish something.
That component, I mean, okay. Is it always top down?
No. In fact, one of the things that we talked about in Leadership South Dakota, it was actually a lesson that I learned in the program. One of our speakers talked about the idea of you can lead from the front or you can lead from the back. And there's two different ways to lead. And, in our state, are you from South Dakota? Yeah. So Bill Janklow would be an example, former governor, kind of a lead from the front guy. I mean, like big personality, bull, in fact, I think his statue in Pierre, he's got a bullhorn in his hand. And, that's sort of that's the picture you have of Bill Janklow's leadership style. And then you have I'll just say Dennis Dugard would be a more current governor who I think led more from the back, very much a leader in every sense of the word, but would do more of what do we need to do? What does our state need? We need to raise teacher salaries. Then let's create a tax that would help us bump those salaries up. I mean, he led from the back in terms of, I don't need the credit. It's not always going to be my idea. I'm going to try to figure out what our organization, in this case, what our state needs. And then I'm going to help us get there. And so I do think there's two ways to lead. You can lead from the front, and it's my idea, my way, we're doing it. And by the way, those leaders can be successful. It works. Or you can lead from the back, which is like, I'm going to pay attention to what the needs are, and then I'm going to build a coalition of people to go accomplish those objectives. And I tend to be a lead from the back guy. That's sort of what I subscribe to, and I think that's still the best recipe. But some people are built to lead from the front, and and they can do that, and it can happen.
I had coffee with Governor Dugard just the other day. Nice man.
Yeah, well, he's a wonderful man, and really humble. I mean, all the qualities, Jeff, that you would say a really good leader should have.
Mm-hmm. Best piece of advice you ever got?
A lot of advice, but one of them, when I was in graduate school at the University of Wyoming, one of our professors, who was actually he was the superintendent in Rapid City when a variety of things happened. The Rapid City flood happened. There was an organization called AIM, the American Indian Movement. They had a riot, like a disturbance. He was the superintendent during that time. He was also the superintendent. They had a flood, or not a flood, a fire where the high school burned down. And he had, and then by the way, the 6 cheerleaders, the Spirit of 6 award, he was the superintendent when that plane went down. So he had all of these things that happened during his time as superintendent in Rapid City, and he told these captivating stories. But one of the pieces of advice I remember him saying is, people are going to believe the first story they hear. So if you have news to deliver to someone, you need to be the one to tell them, because they're going to believe your story better than they're going to believe anybody else's story. If you wait and let other people tell the story, folks are going to believe their version of it versus your version of it. So he was a big believer in getting out in front of issues and trying to, sort of capture the language versus allowing other people to talk about it and then you coming in later and trying to clean the slate. I thought it was really good advice, and it's worked for me both on the personal level and on the professional level.